Our mask for Mardi Gras is white eye and white mouth and a black face. Well, Zulu obviously is the world to me. It's the first African American crew in the city of New Orleans. So we have many men of different backgrounds as part of the organization. And we don't just parade, we do a lot of community service throughout the year. I grew up admiring the parade and eventually wanted to join, and that's what I did. Yeah, Zulu to me it's the fabric of New Orleans. It's the culture of New Orleans. There's not a person in New Orleans that's not aware of Zulu and what we do and what we bring to the community every year. Most people look at it as a Mardi Gras parade, but we're much more than that.
The Crew of Zulu is a primarily black organization in New Orleans that puts on the massively popular Zulu parade every year on Mardi Gras. They trace their roots back to 1908, when a group of black laborers went to see a vaudeville show called There Never Was and Never Will Be a King Like Me. Inspired by how the actors depicted the African Zulu tribe with black makeup, the group renamed themselves Zulu and were soon participating as a parade in Mardi Gras.
To parade in the city of New Orleans, you couldn't wear a mask in the early 1900s if you were African American. It was against the law. And so to circumvent the masking, African Americans painted their skin, synonymous to what they saw in the play, and they paraded around the city. Back then, in the African American neighborhoods, we made fun of the white parades and what they did because they wouldn't let us participate with them.
To ride on a float in Zulu or be a member on Mardi Gras Day, you wear the black and white makeup, and it's an honor. What we're doing is honoring the founders of who started this organization, and in no way is meant to be demeaning to any race, especially the African American race.
When I moved here 40 years ago, I was really shocked when I saw Zulu because I had heard so much about Zulu. Grass skirts and nappy hair and, of course, the black face. And I said, well, what is this supposed to represent?
I came here when I was 12. My perception at first was just like, why do they have this on their face? What is this? And by the time, it became something I was completely aware of, then it was just like a no-brainer, like this is ridiculous.
Zulu has received criticism from local activist groups such as Take 'em Down New Orleans to voices from around the country, especially at a time when blackface keeps popping up in the media. But fans in the community deny any connection to blackface, and the group has had overwhelming support from local officials.
Mardi Gras is not in New York. Mardi Gras is in New Orleans, and the folks in New York probably don't understand a day of revelry like we have in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. The folks in Idaho don't understand a day of revelry we have in New Orleans.
Blackface comes out of minstrelsy. Minstrelsy was a form of entertainment created by racist whites who put on exaggerated shows about the behavior and dancing and singing of black people. It was meant to ridicule and stereotype black people.
What some people are complaining about, they believe it to be synonymous with the minstrels. What the minstrels did back then, in the context in which they were doing it to embarrass, to ridicule, to mock and make fun of black people back then. Zulu has never, in the context of what we do, we've never worn black paint on our face to mock, ridicule, and make fun of black people. We don't deny membership based on race. We don't deny membership based on status. We used to have a sign that said, check your title at the door.
Mardi Gras is a ritual that designs our minds and trains us for the everyday social realities of New Orleans, which is rich white ruling class on top Upper middle class black folks are right beneath it. In the slavery plantation dynamic, they would be the overseers or the house servants, all right? And on the bottom is the majority dark-skinned black working class, most of whom could never afford to get on a float and ride with Zulu, who stand in the streets and wait for these heroes, these false heroes, to throw them coconuts and plastic as treasure.
"2019 marks the 111th year that the crew of Zulu has existed. As the debate over their use of blackface continues, Zulu has no intention of backing down on the tradition they've carried on for a little over a century.
Mardi Gras, it's a fun, dress up, make-believe day. It's a carnival. You're being somebody you're not, you're having fun. Zulu is New Orleans and New Orleans is Zulu. We're one and the same.